But we are now moving on to what I assume you all came in here to join me at this webinar, which is how to use your virtual assistant to find off-market property deals for you. Okay, now, my disclaimer is that I know that there are more than the 3 strategies that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. I am simply choosing these 3 strategies because these are the ones that are easy to implement. I have a system for them, and your VA will already be trained with this system because I do the training beforehand. I also chose these 3 strategies because they require minimal instructions from you. Okay. So what are these 3 strategies? Right. Okay. So these are sold subject to contract properties, probate properties, and unsold at auction. The idea here is lead generation. Okay. The idea is not to close deals, not to basically in a way remember when I mentioned earlier, it's knowing what to delegate to the VA. You delegate the wrong thing, you will fail. You delegate the right thing, you have business success. So you've got the Pareto principle of 80-20. Delegate the 80% to the VA. 20% is your job, or whoever it is that does the sales closing process in your business. Okay, so these are the 3 strategies that have the best chances of generating lots of leads using a system that's repetitive and easy to implement, and that's systemized. Okay, so we've got here the first strategy, and I'll show you each one would be sold subject to contract properties. Apparently, and I don't know where exactly this statistic is coming from, but a third of properties that are listed, for example, on Rightmove or Zoopla as sold subject to contract fall through, and they have to be put back onto the market. So what you delegate to the VA is to data scrape all the listings in the area that you select and the other filters that you want to instruct the VA that are sold subject to contract properties. And can you imagine how much time it takes just to kind of get all the addresses? And basically, what you're aiming for is that a third of those properties will fall through and will need to be put back into the market. And what you're doing with what the VA is doing for you is that you do a direct marketing campaign with these sellers, and you get in there and then you basically make it known to them, and I'll show you what the letter template looks like. And you basically make it known to them that if the sale doesn't go through and you need to put it back in the market, get in touch with me. I am ready, and I have the funds, or I have the interest to buy your property. Okay, so with your virtual assistant and how she's going to be doing this, you can do this as a blanket campaign wherein it doesn't require your prior approval to look at the properties that she's data scraped from Rightmove or Zoopla. Or it can be a system wherein she shows them to you first, and then you deselect the saved properties that you don't like, and then the rest of the steps will apply. Okay, so I've got a sold subject to contract direct marketing letter template to share with you. At the end of this webinar, I'll put in the chat box a download link for all of these templates. Okay. And the great thing about these 3 strategies is that these direct marketing campaigns is actually something that your VA can do from the Philippines, because there's a website called Stamp. Although it's spelled with a letter N, it's actually pronounced as Stamp. And it's where your VA can order remotely these letters to be printed and posted, franked and posted directly from this company to the vendors here in the UK. Okay, I'll also show you step by step how to do that, but it's your VA who's actually going to be doing this for you. The second strategy is probate properties. Now, there are two sub-strategies in this one. I understand that during a pandemic, we have to be a little bit more sensitive and more careful in how we approach this. I would suggest that you do the general prospecting rather than the specific notices direct marketing. Okay, so when you're doing the general prospecting, you're approaching the solicitors that deal with wills and probate, and there's a direct marketing letter template that I will share with you guys. The specific notices direct marketing campaign is where you visit the Gazette and look for listings and notices of someone's deceased estate, and they're basically contacting the solicitors who are dealing with their wills and probate. Okay, so my personal suggestion is to do the general prospecting. I will share with you both letter campaigns in any case if you want to do the specific notices direct marketing campaign. Okay. The third strategy is unsold at auction. This is a little bit like the first strategy, wherein your VA will go to property platforms. In this case, it would be the auction houses websites. And all she's going to do is data scrape the properties that were unsold at auction and put them onto Stamp and do a direct marketing bulk campaign that way. Okay, so you don't have to be doing all of these strategies. You can simply select one or two, or you can be doing all three and get your VA to do each one of them. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'll share with you Stamp. Okay. Can you guys give me a thumbs up just so I know that you are seeing what's on my screen? Fantastic, thank you. So this is my account on, well, I just created this earlier just so I can show you and walk you through what your VA will be doing for you. We've got here, now actually before I do that, what I want to show you first is exactly what this instruction system looks like. So I'm a low-tech kind of girl. I think you can solve lots of problems using free tools that are low-tech. Low-tech solutions for high-tech problems, what they say. Okay, so I'm using a simple spreadsheet, and what I've got here is 3 different tabs, and in between them is the data scraping CSV file where your VA will enter all the data. The 3 tabs show the 3 different strategies. So we've got here sold subject to contract, we've got probate properties, and we've got unsold at auction properties. Okay, so sold subject to contract. Just in case your VA doesn't know where the URL is, it's all in there. So all the instructions that you need to fill in with your own area or your own strategy that you have in mind in terms of your own property investing strategy, then this is all you need to type in. After you type your instructions, in a way, this is your instruction to the VA. When she receives this, this is all she needs to know to start working for you. Okay, so area, you need to tell her where you want her to find properties, minimum, maximum price. It's basically all the filters that you would put in to Rightmove and Zoopla yourself in order to find properties. Okay, I've put in here in red just so everyone is clear, including the VA of course, because this is the strategy that we're using, is that she needs to be selecting sold subject to contract properties, listings, I mean. Okay, we've got here keywords just in case you want to be putting keywords like cash only or in need of or subject to, because that would indicate that there might be a potential for development in that property. I think I'm not so sure if one of you might be into commercial property. I am going to admit right now that this is just solely for residential property, the strategies that I'm teaching you tonight. But if these are applicable to a commercial property search, then by all means, you can use the same instruction spreadsheet. Okay, so whatever the VA can find using Rightmove, she will then type it in here. And this, when saved as a CSV file, will be recognized by Stamp. And Stamp will generate the bulk campaign to not only print the letters for you, but somehow fold it, put it into an envelope, and then frank it for you and post it for you. Okay. And they're not expensive either. Okay, then we've got probate. Very simple. Like I said, this isn't, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I'm just selecting the strategies for lead generation. That is to say, finding as many off-market property deals out there as you can, and then saving it, and then contacting these people or these sellers in a bulk campaign. Okay. So we've got here the probate properties strategy. There's the general prospecting campaign and the estates and probate. Now, just maybe for your interest, we will click at these URLs just so we see what they look like and what your VA will be doing for you. So we've got the general prospecting. It's all it is that you can find a solicitor that deals with wills and probate that are in the area that you're looking for. Now, there are some solicitors that have several offices across the country, and so some of the listings might have more than one office. It's up to you if you want the VA to data scrape only the office in the city or area that you want to invest in, or all of the offices involved. Okay. So my area, for example, is Sheffield. And we've got 315 solicitors to contact. For example, this one will have one office and 13 solicitors. So I am just, so I can show you what it will look like later on when we upload the file in Stamp. Okay, I'm just going to do this. And then we need a contact person. So for example, we will contact Miss Apinar. Already you can see how many clickety steps your VA is likely going to be doing. Miss. Address 1. I'll just do this quickly just so I can show you exactly what tasks are involved. And what it looks like when we upload this later on Stamp. Okay. So that's using the Law Society website. We've also got the Gazette, and this is where we find the notices. So these are individual notices of disease estates, wherein you can contact the solicitors that is handling their the wills and probate of the estate. Okay. Now, I personally don't want to be doing this, but it's up to you if you want to. So you could say Sheffield. Now, I believe the notices on the Gazette are from 350 years, historical notices. So you don't want to be looking at all the years. So you just maybe want to see the last 6 months, okay? So this could be April of this year to thereabouts October. So we are going to be looking at the details of the executor. Okay, so this is what your VA will be data scraping. And she will be also data scraping the name of the in the estate, okay, the person named in the estate. But let's assume that we have data scraped it, okay, because I want to show you the other strategies. We've got, so we've done sold subject to contract, probate, and then unsold at auction. So in this strategy, you are simply going to be instructing the VA what area you would like to invest in. And if you have the URL of the auction house that you have in mind, you can type it in here, or you can let the VA do the work. And you can just simply say Sheffield, and you can also, here we go, Sheffield, and you can also say just maybe the last 2 auctions or the last 3 auctions, okay? And the VA can then just simply go Sheffield auctions property. And she knows to be looking for not the current and future auctions, but the sold and past, unsold and past auctions. Okay. So the process is the same throughout, and view auction lots. Oh no, this is 1st of December. Sorry, guys. Okay, previous auctions, view results. Okay, 2020 October. And if there's any listing here that's shown as unsold, that's what the VA will data scrape and put in the CSV file. Okay, what do these letters look like? I can show you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to upload the CSV files and the letters onto Stamp, and then I can show you what the letters contain. So first, I am going to save this as a CSV file. Okay, sample upload. Okay, how do we do this? So when you get onto Stamp and you log in, you see this dashboard, and you can upload the CSV file that you just saved onto here, mailing list, recipient groups. Okay. Okay, so I simply click on create a new group and import. It's pretty intuitive. It's easy enough to do. And here's my file, sample upload. And this is what it's going to look like. So Miss Charlotte Belma Akpinar, and these are the details. And what we do is import data. And that's our, of course, we only have one name on there, but you might have hundreds, okay? And then when we're ready to create a campaign, we click on send mail and then bulk campaigns, and then we create a new campaign. We select the A4 letter. You can also, by the way, do postcards. That can be another lead generation strategy, but that's not something that we will discuss today. You can upload a PDF, and I will show that to you right now, or you can get the VA to type it in directly. So let's say we do an upload PDF. One of the letter templates I've got is, did we say, let's say we do the sold subject to contract property. Okay. This is what it looks like. There are 3 letter templates that you can use for sold subject to contract. It's basically just congratulating them. It's a sneaky way of saying at the very bottom of the letter that, hey, if you do need to put it back on the market, why don't you call me? Okay. So it's talking about, you know, you can organize a removal team. I can recommend so and so. But hey, if things don't work out, if you ever need someone to buy a property from you in the future, I'm your local property guy. Now, this is a template. I'll give you the editable Word doc. You can, of course, change the wordings in here if you think this is too informal or too buddy and you don't want to sound like that. You want to sound a little bit more helpful, for example, or sensitive, then you can edit the content of and the wording of the letter. Your name down here, okay? The thing that your VA will need to do, and they will be taught how to do this, is to then insert an, so you will see later on that the data that we entered in the CSV file will automatically generate in this field. But as you can see, there is no greetings in this letter. So that's because we need to enter this, which will be first name and last name. Okay. So we are going to say that we like this template. We are going to save and finish this. We are going to select this recipient group. Save selection. And it's downloaded the preview, and it looks like this. So we've got here the address that we typed in there earlier. We have on here the letter template that we uploaded with your details or your wording on here. Okay. We simply then approve this campaign, and we select when we'd like to post it, and that's it. That's done halfway across the globe by someone who's working for you remotely. Okay. Let's go back to the slide. So I'm kind of rushing things because we've got a few minutes left, and I want to make sure that we have time for Q&A later. So I'll go back to the slides because I did promise you as well, where can you find virtual assistants? Okay, sorry about this, guys. I need to go through all the slides. Oh, there we go. Right, so before we get on to where you can find a virtual assistant. I actually want to say, don't hire a virtual assistant until you've tried it yourself. Time yourself, see how long it takes you to do it. How long it took my VA to do this is that at first it took her about 2 hours to just scrape 30 addresses. In the next 2 hours, she managed to be a little bit faster. She managed to scrape 60 addresses. And this is not in one day, okay? So I got her to spend 2 hours today and then 2 hours tomorrow and then 2 hours the next day. So she improved and improved over the course of 3 days. So basically, she managed to find 202 listings in 6 hours. So within 6 hours, you're looking at maybe full-time rate of about £4 an hour. It could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more. That depends on the VA and what their expectation is for their salary. But basically, I'd like for you to try and do this yourself. Like I said, I'll put in a download link in the chat box so that you can download these templates and then you can create the campaign yourself. By the way, when you open an account with Stamp, and I earn no affiliate, I don't earn any affiliate, what you call that, commissions from them, by the way. But if you open an account with them, they instantly give you £2 credit, so you can test and post it straight away. So you can really see that they do indeed post the letters for you.